There you are. Splendid. Well, may I bid you the very warmest of Wednesday welcomes. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Yes, it's Wednesday. The warmest of welcomes to Wednesday Night Live with me, Boaty. And I am going to be coming into your eyes, ears, and quite possibly other orifices as well over the next 1 hour, where we enjoy each other's company in this Boaty's World Community Live. I'm Boaty, you're the community. Hopefully we are all live, and this is my world. This is my world. A rather nice dining table that's seen a bit of action over the years, an iPad, a microphone, an elderly iPhone X, and this is it. This is the entirety of my world for the next 60 minutes. Oh, and a glass of wine, of course. So cheers, up yours, your very good health. It doesn't improve white wine being left on the dining table overnight. As you will see from tomorrow's Daily Diary video, I was so gone last night. I mean, after the weekend and those 2 days, it's no great surprise. And I I have no memory of eating my supper. I have no memory of going to bed. All I know is when I got up this morning after a damn good sleep, there was a full glass of wine and an empty plate on the dining table. So there you are. So I think I had a good night. If anybody knows otherwise, do tell me. Now, who've I got? Let's have a look. Lord Stiff Upper Lip is with us and says, hello, Boaty. Jimmy Quinn is here. Good evening, Boaty and everyone. Good evening to you, Jimmy. Hope you've had a good day. Trace is here, the Greenwood. Evening all, says Trace. Shall I do it in her voice? Okay. Evening all, says Trace. I shouldn't be here tonight. I should be asleep, but I'm here anyway, and hello, and I don't know whether I'm from South Wales or bloody Somerset, but that's Trace for you. She's got a slightly weird accent. She's from everywhere, basically. Trace, I'm delighted that you are foregoing your sleep to be with us. Very kind of you. Le meme. Is this the Boaty's World channel? Well, yes, Lamim, it very much is. This is it. This is the Boaty's World channel. I'm Boaty. You are now part of my world. So that's good, isn't it? Hi, Tracy, says Jimmy. What? Oh, what do you mean you've done M&S tonight and the food bank? Well, those are two things that don't go together. I mean, if you're using the food bank, you shouldn't be going to bloody M&S unless you're shoplifting. And if you are shoplifting from M&S, Jimmy, then I thoroughly approve of that. Well done, you. When does Mr. Boaty go live? Some point in the next 5 minutes, I imagine. We just have to live in hope. Right, okay, jolly good. I wasn't here last night, says Trace. Did I miss any scandal or gossip? Well, I've had a bottle of wine and a sleep since then, Trace. Don't ask me what happened last night. I can't remember. I can't remember what I called the live stream. I remember that we laughed a lot because I was telling Trace, after the day I had yesterday, it's a miracle that I managed to turn the camera on and string any words together whatsoever. Boaty's girlfriend from Liverpool is here, right in our midst, and says, hi, Boaty, God, I don't know why she's sounding like Tracy there. Hi, Boaty, my lover. Miss you, my little rabbit. Less of the little girlfriend from Liverpool, if you don't mind. Don't go sharing all of my little secrets. Oh, well, there you go. There's me using the word little as well. Boaty, says Lamim. Have you heard about mogging? Have I heard about mogging? Well, what an interesting question. Does it relate to Jacob Rees-Mogg? Because I've definitely heard of Jacob Rees-Mogg. Now, I'm imagining that mogging is a very specific form of dogging when you do it with Jacob Rees-Mogg. I imagine that's the case. And that is something that I think that I would enjoy very much indeed. In fact, now, thank you for bringing this subject up, Lamim. I really appreciate it because this has genuinely never crossed my mind before. But now that I think about it, and I can't think of anybody that I would rather go dogging with than Jacob Rees-Mogg. I think he would be an excellent dogging companion. And when I say that, don't get me wrong, I don't mean that the actual physical shenanigans that are involved in dogging. I'm not suggesting doing that with Jacob Rees-Mogg. No, 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 no. I'm just suggesting that he would be a good travel companion to travel there and back with. And I could watch him and he could watch me as we cavorted in the spring twilight with whoever happened to be there. Probably a girl from Liverpool, probably called Tracy. I think most of the girls from Liverpool are called Tracy. Don't ask me what my girl from Liverpool was called. I'm not sure if we had chance to introduce ourselves before I fell off her in the wee small hours of the morning. And breakfast was breakfast the next morning was somewhat strained. And by that time, it was too late to introduce yourself. I mean, to be honest, if you're not on first name terms by the time you've swapped bodily fluids, it's probably too late. And you might as well just call each other love or pet. But thank you for that question. I enjoyed that very much. Right, okay. Salutations, Prince of Mogging, says Pingu Concord, and salutations to you too. And I appreciate your salutations, and I return them with knobs on, Pingu. Hope you're well. Oh, and Pingu goes on. Free Rochdale. Yes, I agree. Free Rochdale. Free it from the tyrannical yokes of Greater Manchester and let it float happily into Yorkshire, where it will probably be a happier town. I imagine. I'm no expert on these things. The artist formerly known as Barry Scroter. You see, now this is awkward because you're not the artist formerly known as Barry Scroter. You're the artist formerly known as Barry Scrotter. But your name now, which I believe you can change on Saturday, is formerly known as Barry Scroter. So it's very confusing for people, but a jolly good evening to you anyway. The Mug Father is in the house, says Barry. Okay, right. This is clearly an in-joke that I'm not in on. Now, Mustard did a live stream. Well, Mustard did 2 live streams today. And I'm proud to say I didn't watch either of them. They're absolutely terrible. He's a very poor presenter. And, you know, he would be the first to admit that. So I didn't watch them, but I imagine that, or I wonder whether whether the subject of mogging has been coming up. I don't know. Bad Books is with us. Good evening. It's not a trace. This is a beautiful napkin that I carefully stole from my favourite hotel in the world, the Hotel Monte Igueldo in San Sebastian in the Basque Country. It's not a wank rag. How dare you? How dare you, Tracy? Don't forget to like, says Jimmy Quinn. Thank you for the reminder, Jimmy. I will do my best to like this rubbish. Andrew Buttigieg is with us. Daz Smith is with us. Good evening, Boaty. Good evening, chat. The Barry Scrotter says the light shades are out of shot. Yeah, well, they would be, because I'm not doing it vertically, am I? We tried vertical. It didn't work. We went back to where we are warm and safe and happy horizontal. Although I'm going to do a vertical tomorrow during the day. I've had a really good day today. I had a good sleep, a good rest. I've done a couple of things I needed to do that have given me a bit of peace of mind today, and I'm feeling a bit puckish. And if you don't know what puckish means, then you probably haven't read much Shakespeare. And that, quite honestly, is to your detriment. And if I throw in a Shakespearean reference and you don't pick up on it, well, I can't take any responsibility for that, I'm afraid. I mean, read some Shakespeare. It's rather good. And read Chaucer too. Chaucer is amazing. You would love it. You'd love it, Trace, if you've not read it. Filth. Absolute filth. Honestly. Hello. Neil is with us. Neil Gibbons, a.k.a. the Gibbonator, a.k.a. the very nice man. I've got a question for you, Neil. Remind me to ask it. Hello all. How are we tonight? What a lovely question. Dan Peters is here. Hello, Mr. Boaty. Hope you're well, sir. Pleased to join your great live. Well, that's very kind. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Right. Andrew Buttigeek, who we also know and love as Ivor Spotty Botty, says, now then, hello, Boaty, and everyone in the chat. How's the mogging? All right, this is clearly a thing, and I'm clearly in the dark. So you all know what you're talking about, and I haven't got a clue. And indeed, Lameme weighs in once more and says, I'd like to call you Lamem, but you are missing a circumflex accent on your first E. So I'm not sure where to go with you, whether to mem you or meme you. I'm going to go grammatically accurate. And as you are missing that circumflex, I'm going to go Lameme. Anyway, the point is, if I could get a word in edgeways, thank you. Lameme says, are you mewing and mogging tonight, Boaty? Well, I might well be, but I don't know. Laugh my bottom off, says Trace. Since when was I a navvy straddling Somerset and Wales? Oh, sorry, I didn't do that in character, did I? Laugh my ass off. Since when was I a navvy straddling Somerset and Wales? Oh, I don't know, Trace. I mean, you know more about your personal history than I did, and than I do. And quite frankly, who, what, and where you've straddled are your own business and nothing to do with us, unless it's on OnlyFans and one of us is paid to see you straddling something. Feature number 1. What would you pay to see Tracy straddle? God. And be careful with your answers. A hidden message from Jimmy Quinn. This will be filth. Was Smelly Hole or the Liverpool lady with you last night? Jimmy, nobody was with me last night. I was fit for nothing. I could have had Pepsi, Claudia Winkleman, and Alanis Morissette in my bed last night, and I guarantee you they would all have gone unpodgered. At least until about 10 o'clock this morning, and then I'd have, happily worked my way through them with a break for coffee and a slice of toast. But last night, I can promise you there were no women here in Windy Bottom. And if there had been a woman here in Windy Bottom, she would have been very dissatisfied indeed. And she would have had to have helped herself. Boaty, says Rover Joe. Rover Joe is in our midst. And you know the rules. When Rover Joe comes into the midst of our little huddle of a community, we embrace him virtually. Unless we were doing this live from a meetup, a real live meetup, in which case we would embrace him physically. And that is a Boaty's World community thing. You all have a bounden duty. If you ever meet Rover Joe in real life, you must embrace him warmly, squeeze him and tickle him until a little bit of wee comes out and he burps. Those are the rules. I didn't make them. I'm just here to let you know about them and enforce them. So, Joe, be aware that whenever you come out in public in future, should, should you run into any of this lot, they are going to squeeze you until you wet yourself a little bit and burp. And I just hope somebody's filming it, because to me, that would be great content. In fact, I reckon I could have the most successful channel on YouTube if I just concentrated on doing all of the car shows. All of them. Festival of the Unexceptional, Rustival, Pride of Longbridge. And I just found all of the biggest YouTubers that I could and squeezed them with or without their consent until they wet themselves a little bit and burped. And I reckon that that would be a very successful channel. I would, of course, be arrested and probably sent to prison, where I could be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, well, maybe not. Maybe I could go to prison now. Maybe I could safely go to prison now, because I forget I'm old and exceedingly ugly. So, you know, whereas if I'd have gone to prison when I was in my 20s or my 30s, then, well, let's just say that a very sensitive part of my anatomy that has to this day been unplundered would have ended up resembling the sleeve of a wizard. But there we are. There we are. It's lovely to have you with us, Rover Joe. And I should do the voice, shouldn't I? Well, here I am in Boaty's live stream, and this is nice. It's very nice. There you go. Oh, not you too, Rover Joe. Boaty, I've heard you are mogging. Oh, God almighty. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm coming up with the title for this live stream in my mind. Boaty, says Trace. Jimmy collects food from Marks and Spencer's and takes it to the food bank. Big lots of it. Jimmy, I apologise for accusing you of shoplifting. What a wonderful thing to do. I salute you. Literally. I literally salute you as I would salute a magpie. In fact, I'll do it properly, in the good British style. Long way up, short way down. That's how the British salute. Long way up, short way down. I don't like the American salute. I find it far too casual, informal, and basically lacking in the correct amount of effort for a salute. I like a good, smart British salute. But what a wonderful thing to do, Jimmy. And what a wonderful chap you are. I need to come up with some plaudits for this channel and this community, because Jimmy, with that information that Trace has just given me, you have just gone up one step on the Boaty's World community scale of decent chappery. So I already knew you were a decent chap, but now you are one step higher on the decent chap ladder. And I'm going to make this a feature. We're going to have a community decent chap ladder. And decent chaps applies to chaps and lady chaps. So there's a question. So how many rungs should the ladder have? Let's say it has 20 rungs. Where would you put Tracy with all of her straddling and spanking activities on the yeah, well, I suppose it depends on how you view those things. And for those who don't know, Tracy makes her living from a certain video channel, which I won't mention, OnlyFans. And yeah, she does all sorts of things online, and I applaud her for it. And I and we should be truly grateful that our Trace, who we all love dearly, and who is going to co-host a live stream with me, is prepared to watch and participate in our community live streams, stark naked and entirely free of charge. And it's just occurred to me, Trace, if we co-host a live stream, you're not going to do it naked, are you? Please tell me you're going to have clothes on, because I'm not doing it naked, and I'm not doing it with you when you're naked. Oh, right. A new rule for my live streams. If you're co-hosting or coming on as a guest, you've got to have some clothes on. And I know that might be a bit hypocritical of me, seeing as I did get my foot out for one tight-fisted pervert who didn't even pay me the tenner. But, you know, it's only a foot. I sound like mustard now, don't I? It's only a foot, darling. You'll be fine. Me and the wife, oh, and Jimmy goes on, me and the wife pick up from the supermarket at night and take it to the food bank. And as I say, jolly well good on you. Pendulous Knocking, which is a fabulous name, says, "Hey Boaty, are you feeling cuddly tonight?" I am, actually. Now, if Claudia Winkleman were to come round tonight, or Smelly Hole, or my girlfriend from Liverpool, or quite frankly, almost anything, there's a very good chance that you would get lucky. I am in that sort of place tonight. Bad Book says, "You were cooking chips. Did you enjoy them?" I've got no idea, Bad Books. I can't remember eating the bloody things. I know I ate them because my bowl was empty and I took a picture of them and they look great. They really do look good. So I imagine I would have enjoyed them very much. I just can't remember anything after. I was going to say, I can't remember anything after the live stream. I can't remember much during the bloody live stream. And let me just stress, this is not because I'm some kind of alcoholic and I was absolutely out of my skull last night. I'd had a drink, certainly. What I was last night was exhausted because it was another one of those weeks where I hadn't had a rest day. Obviously, I'm busy over the weekend at the restaurant. Sunday night, I have a really late night because I'm out at the yard all day Monday. So Sunday night, I'm uploading videos, doing all sorts of stuff, waving my hands around like Magnus Pike. Then I have the long day at Monday, driving to the yard, day at the yard, driving back, long live stream, so on. And then Tuesday is my catch-up day. But I didn't have it, did I? Because Tuesday, I was up at a ridiculously early hour, and we were off to not buy a car. That wasn't the plan. We weren't setting out to not buy a car. We could have done that from home, which would have been a lot easier. We set out to buy a car, but ended up not buying one. And that was a long old day. And I got home yesterday just in time to get a shower, change, and go to work last night. So trust me, by the time I was live streaming last night, I was hanging out of my arse. Now, pour a bottle of wine into me when I'm that tired and I'm not going to remember eating chips. I mean, I can show you the picture if you'd like to see it. You'll see it in the daily diary anyway, but, you know, maybe you don't want to watch that. Who could blame you? Hold on. I will find it for you. Or will I? Well, where's that gone? Well, hang on. I don't understand how I can possibly have lost that. Oh, there it is. There you go. That, if you can see it, is how last night's supper turned out. Looks pretty good to me. Chips look amazing. Once again, let me remind you that I may not be the best cook in the world, sober, but I'm one of the best drunk cooks in the world. I can cook a fantastic meal when I'm so drunk that most people would be in a puddle on the floor. I channel my inner Keith Floyd. There are virtually no circumstances in which I can't cook a decent meal. I can do it when I'm drunk. I can do it when I'm so tired I can't keep my eyes open. I can do it when I've just got up and I don't know who I am, where I am, or what I'm doing. And I can do it outside in the back of a Land Rover. Anyway, there we are. Good evening, Boaty, says HW100 or HW100 or HW100 if you prefer. And quite frankly, I do. I am, says Pendulous Knocking. You are what? I've forgotten what you said, or what I said you said, or, oh God, it's hard work, this is. Oh, feeling cuddly. Oh, right. Oh, okay, jolly good. Yeah. Yes, says Trace. Rochdale should be free. It doesn't look worth paying a quid for. Oh, hello, Mustard's here. Mustard in the kitchen. My dear closest friend, Captain Mustard, who hopefully didn't hear me say that he was a terrible live stream presenter. I was only joking. His live streams are excellent. The only reason I didn't watch them was, well, I watched a bit of this afternoon's, to be fair, while I was doing other stuff around the house. I didn't actually participate, but I didn't get to watch any of tonight's because I was at work and we were busy. But I imagine it were hundreds of... I can only apologise. We've talked about this before. Sometimes when you are broadcasting live and you are speaking in some volume with speed, hopefully continuity, sincerity and involvement, there will always be an occasion when a whine burp, uninvited, unsolicited, unwelcome, will suddenly appear. And when that happens, all that the poor beleaguered presenter who has been plagued with this burp can do is to look you directly in the eye and apologise sincerely. And I do. Now then, let's carry on. What was I banging on about? Oh, well, Mustard's having a big old clean up in the kitchen. What did he cook tonight? Oh, the mind boggles. Oh, it started on Mustard's Live tonight, says Jimmy Quinn, the Mogging. Okay. Somebody will explain it to me at some point. Mustard said he would like to spend the night in the caravan with you on his live today. Jesus Christ. We're going to have to do it at one point. I mean, we did promise, I think we promised Pingu, and he's never forgotten it. We did promise that we would spend the night together in the caravan. And I suppose it's going to happen at some point. And when it does, I imagine the universe will end or implode. If and when it happens, we're going to have to do a 12-hour live stream, aren't we? We're going to have to do an all-night live. Because the one thing you can guarantee is if you put me and Mustard in the caravan together, then we're going to drink until, well, probably through until the morning, until we fall asleep, or until we just drink through the night and are desperately in need of a sausage roll. Mustard had over 150 viewers at one stage, says Andrew Buttigieg. Some strange questions were asked, as in Mogging. Sherry K is with us. So are you not... Oh, I didn't mean to press that. Are you not working tonight, says Sherry K? I don't do that. Go away. Why is that happening? Hopefully you can't hear this. That's it. Go away. The Siri thing came up. I was working tonight, Sherry K. I have now finished because it is, I'm not sure where you are, my lovely, but it's 11:30 p.m. here in the Peak District National Park in the good old United Kingdom. And I was working at the restaurant tonight. I finished working at the restaurant tonight. All of the lovely customers were fed and went away. And I came home and, I don't know if you call this working. I mean, I get paid for it. So is it work? I don't mind admitting to you that I will probably earn, oh gosh, 11, maybe 12 pence for my hour of effort here doing this live stream. But that is the answer. I was working and now I've finished working and I'm doing this. And when I finish doing this, I will be cooking and drinking some more wine. And then I will be doing a little bit more. Well, I'll probably be sleeping, to be honest. I'll leave the rest of the work till tomorrow. Rover Joe says, according to the chatters, Boaty, you are Mr. Mogg. Neil says, if the questions involve painting a green stripe, I'm your man. Oh, God, Ross is at it now. Dino Dad, Ross. Hello, everyone, and Moggers. I was on the live stream, says Jimmy Quinn. I don't know what mogging is. We think it's dogging with Jacob Rees-Mogg, Jimmy, which I would be thoroughly in favour of. And if Jacob Rees-Mogg or anybody close to him is watching this, then I invite you to an evening's dogging or mogging, or if some of you came along as well and you are bogs, Boaty's old geezers and gals, then if you came along as well, we would be dogging, mogging and bogging. And I quite fancy that. I mean, you'd need a bit of energy to mog and bog and dog all at the same time. But I reckon I could do it because there is many a good tune played on an old fiddle. And I'm not sure who's got the older fiddle, me or Jacob Rees-Mogg, but it would be interesting to find out. Perhaps one of us would have a rusty trumpet. Oh dear. Properly choked on my wine there, says Grace. Read the OnlyFans straddling ideal. Oh dear. Stephen S. Paul is with us from across the herring pond in the good old United States of Confusion, Arizona specifically, I think. Hello, boatman and fellow organisms. Well, hello to you. Oh, God above. This is the best name yet. We've had Smelly Hole. Now we have Pungent Exit. Right, whoever you are, you're a genius. Pungent Exit says, show us your Jeffrey. I'm sorry. I'm losing it a bit because in my mind, that was read in the voice of George from Rainbow. Bungle, show us your Jeffrey. God. Oh dear, Pungent Exit. Thank you for that. You've made my night. And I'm going to screenshot that because that, or something to do with Jacob Rees-Mogg, or a combination of the two, is going to be the title for tonight's live stream. For those who don't know, the live streams are all called Monday Night Live, Tuesday Night Live, Wednesday Night Live, whatever, depending on the day. I'm sure you could work that much out for yourselves, you're clever people. But at the end of the live stream, I give them an individual name, and that name will pertain in some way, shape, or form, ideally, to what went on within the live stream. And quite honestly, I think Pungent Exit, show us your Jeffrey, it's got to be up there as one of the best live stream titles ever. Show us your Jeffrey. I'm going to remember that. That is going to become one of my things. I'm going to shamelessly steal that Pungent Exit, and I'm going to use that as a non sequitur. and I'm going to enjoy using it. So whenever I meet anybody who's the slightest bit rich or famous or something, from now on, I'm going to exchange a few I'm going to exchange a few pleasantries, and then I'm going to go in with that line. So, for example, let's say that I met the lovely Ian Seabrook, known as Hubnut. I would say, "Hello, Ian. I enjoy your channel. It's very, very nice to meet you. I'm Boaty." And we would shake hands, and he would say, "Good to meet you." Maybe he would say, "I've heard of your channel," because I know he has. Um, "How are you?" Blah, blah, blah. And we would exchange a few pleasantries. And then I would just stop and say, "Okay, show us your Jeffrey." Oh dear. Black Lines has been to watch a Scouse tribute band tonight. Took that. Yeah, we can see what you did there, Black Lines. Stephen S. Ball says Boaty in cell block 8, prisoner cell block 8. We've talked about that before, haven't we? I bought a new belt tonight, darlings. My old belt. This is, or was, my belt. And as you can possibly see, it has very much ceased being a belt. Now, this was a very cheap, allegedly leather belt from, I think I bought it last year from one of those super duper cheapy shops that I went into for a bet. And quite honestly, I expect my belt to last a lifetime. My brown belt, which was quite expensive, has lasted most of a lifetime, and I expect it to carry on until I shuffle off this mortal coil. Good as gold. It's a lovely old thing. But that belt was, quite frankly, a disappointment. Now, I know my belt has got a lot to deal with. It's, it's fighting against gravity and my protuberance, my stomach, my veranda over the pleasure gardens, and it's fighting a battle to keep my jeans here rather than here, which is where gravity would like them to be, and my big old belly forcing them downwards would encourage them to be. But yeah, I've had to buy a new belt. And it was kind of an emergency situation because that belt gave up the ghost in the middle of service. And I was front of house tonight in the old restaurant, and I'm suddenly beltless. And without a belt, then these jeans, which are a 36-inch waist, would just descend. And we are a fine dining restaurant. And I don't think that seeing my elderly, wrinkled buttocks would add to the fine dining experience. So I had to whiz out to Sainsbury's in the blinking of an eye and invest in a belt. And I thought it won't be too bad because Sainsbury's is a supermarket. So anything that they sell will be cheap. It fucking wasn't. 14 quid. 14 quid for a belt. That one was £1.99 or £2.99 or something like that. 14 of the king's pounds from a bloody supermarket. They should be wearing a striped jumper and a eye mask. So that's 14 quid I'm never going to see again. I would love to have been in prisoner cell block 8. Now, I couldn't have been an inmate because, quite frankly, I am the incorrect gender. And I don't mean that I'm the incorrect gender full stop, but I am the incorrect gender to be a female prisoner because I'm not a female. I don't even identify as one. I'm not even curious about being one. I wouldn't want to be a female. I might have big knockers and I couldn't cope with that. But I could have been a prison officer or, in the vernacular, a screw, because there was a male screw, wasn't there? Oh, there were a couple. There was that Australian moustachy guy with the salt and pepper hair. And then there was that fat guy who looked like a squashed version of Robbie Coltrane. I think, was he Scottish or was he Australian? But he looked like a compressed version of Robbie Coltrane. If you imagine Robbie Coltrane was standing in a basement underneath a lift and the lift came down and squashed him down to half his size, that that's what that prison officer looked like. Oh, Robbie Coltrane, I miss him. I do miss him. What a genius. What a comedic genius, a great actor, a wonderful bon vivant, and, of course, a petrol head, a car enthusiast. What's not to like about that? Rover Joe is the explanatory expert on mogging, says Pingu. Okay, well, explanatory away. I would do anything for you, Boaty, says Boaty's girlfriend from Liverpool. You don't need the greenwood. Right, fair enough. I've got a few ideas that I may or may not have tried before that I'd be very happy to put into action. Watch out for the freak, says Andrew Buttigieg. Oh, yeah, the freak. That was one of them, wasn't it? You may have heard of mogging, says Rover Joe, but there is also the term mewing too. Dan Peters says, would you ever consider a Yard of Dreams barbecue and bring your own beer for all channel members? Well, I've already done an outdoor cook at the Yard of Dreams. At a Project Nigel meetup, I brought along all my outdoor cooking equipment and I made Momo. And several people, including myself, enjoyed them very much. I couldn't consider a Yard of Dreams anything because it's not my yard. I just own or co-own. Well, I wholly own one of the cars in the yard and I co-own many of the other cars in the yard, and I am, I hope, a welcome visitor. But it is indeed Paul's yard, Mustard's yard. So it wouldn't be, so if he organised something like that, then I would absolutely consider not turning up to it, because it would be on a Saturday or a Sunday, and that would be very inconvenient for me. If it was on a Monday, like a bank holiday Monday, something like that, I would turn up for it and I would enjoy it. But serious answer, Dan Peters, then this year, not at the Yard of Dreams, but what I would like to do on Sundays is to have a meetup somewhere beautiful in the Peak District, and we would do a Land Rover lunch. I will bring all of my gear. We will meet up somewhere in the Peak, and I know the exact spot that would be perfect. And we'll meet up and I will cook. Others can cook if they would like to as well, or they can bring their own food. And we'll have a jolly good meetup in the Peak District. We'll make an outdoor Land Rover lunch. I'll rock up in the Land Rover. We can do filming and mingling and driving and all sorts. I planned these last year and they never actually came to fruition. They never happened. This year, I would love them to. So that is, well, that's a plan. Would you be up for that, Dan Peters? American salute, says Stephen S. Paul. No, it's just miserly. No, I've got no time for that. Jesus, Boaty, says Trace. Only charged you half price for a lifetime membership. Very kind of you two. Barry Scrotter says the state of Boaty's wheels the other day. He told me he had cleaned them. I did. I just didn't clean all of them. I only help my wife, says Jimmy Quinn. She does most of the food bank 7 days a week. In that case, your wife goes further up the Boaty's World community ladder of decent chapery than you do. She is now one rung above you, Jimmy Quinn. And I hope that you tell her that and send her my kindest regards and say that we all thank her on behalf of all of those that she helps. It's an absolutely splendid community-minded thing to do, and I applaud her and also you. I've been promoting your live in America, says Pingu Concord, Indonesia, and Turkmenistan. Turkmenistan tonight. Let's see if there are any takers. Well, yes, indeed. So was John Holmes, says Andrew Buttigieg, and I've got no idea what that relates to. Hey, says Trace. Oh, sorry. Hey, says Trace. I do live streams on Twitch. I'm fully and utterly closed on that. You've got... You got more naked than me for the footman. I would never show my feet for free. He nagged me into it. He nagged me for a month. I was fed up of it. You know, when somebody nags you that much, give them a bit of foot and they'll shut up. It's like blowing your husband when you're really too tired to do it. But, you know, it's easier to blow him quickly than it is to listen to him begging you to blow him for half an hour. Get it over with. It's all over and done within 3 or 4 minutes. And then you can read your book and go to bed. Jimmy is a top-notch good egg, says Andrew. And I agree, says Trace. What about a top-notch Margoth, Robojo? Lunatic Ninja number 5 says, Mr. Boaty, hello fella. Hello to you. Welcome to the live stream. Lunatic Ninja number 5. Egg mug for Christmas, says Andrew. Boaty, asks Pingu, have you ever gone to bed sober in the past 10 years? Yeah, but I didn't enjoy it. The last 10 years, yes, I have. But in my dotage, I found the happy medium. Now, I used to go to bed drunk back in the day, and I didn't enjoy that, and it didn't suit me. And of course, it's not good for your health. So I stopped drinking heavily, and now I just drink lightly. And I go to bed a little tipsy, a little tired, and that suits me grand. Going to bed entirely sober is, well, I mean, it's a dreadful thing, really. I don't enjoy it. I have done it, and I personally wouldn't recommend it. But each to their own. Jimmy says, Tracy, after midnight we go member only and you take all your clothes off. Oh, dear. Oh, seriously, though, says Trace, Monday the 25th is good for me as a co-host. Let me know. Monday the 25th it is, Trace. I will forget. Remind me prior to that. I don't even know what the date is today. When's Monday the 25th? Is it a week on Monday? 2 weeks on Monday? Just remind me and we will absolutely do it. Do you remember waving your willy around the kitchen last night, asked Andrew Buttigieg, and the answer to that is no. Was that last night? I don't remember it being last night. I remember a bit of kitchen willy waving. Yeah. I couldn't have told you it was last night. I would have guessed that it was the night before. I love that. Wave your willy around the caravan. I must watch that again. I can't read that, girlfriend from Liverpool, but I can show it to other people. And welcome, Boaty's Belch. I don't live stream, says Lunatic Ninja number 5. I don't want people seeing me urinate. Each to their own. I completely understand that. My long-term viewers will know that in my early days of this channel, I did a feature called Boaty's Bogs, where people saw and heard all sorts of things they really didn't want to. Robojo says if Mustard burped like that on his live, he would just laugh. He's even farted loudly and proudly too. Yeah, but he's a northerner. He's uncouth. that kind of thing is acceptable. You know, he comes from a background that eat every meal off newspaper with mushy peas. And of course, belching and breaking wind is perfectly acceptable. I come from a slightly different background. I mean, each to their own, of course. Black Line says, I bought a suit from a charity shop today that belonged to someone in the Mamas and the Poppers. The sleeves are brown and the tie is grey. Ah. All the sleeves are brown and the tie is grey. I love the Mamas and the Poppers. I absolutely adore them. I can give you every lyric from every song that they ever wrote or covered, and I'm such a Mamas and the Poppers geek. I could give you full details on each of their life stories. I'm an uber fan of the Mamas and the Poppers, and I don't think I've ever said that on a live stream before, but it is absolutely 100% true. And bizarrely, I've been a fan of the Mamas and the Poppers since I was a very young boy, like 7 or 8 years old, because my father used to play them in the car. And I thought they were great. Dancing cheek to cheek in the caravan. Oh, wine freezer out. I haven't got any wine in the freezer. There's actually wine freezer in. None of you told me to put it in, so I didn't. Oh, sad wine news, darlings. Sad wine news. The Sainsbury's 25% off offer finished. We're back on the cheap shit, which means that we absolutely have to freeze it in order to make it even half palatable. Sad news indeed. It's been a nice week drinking the decent stuff. I love a decent drop of wine. It's terrible being poor. M. Schnack. I apologise, Mr. Schnack. Rover Joe sends his regards. Well, be sure to squeeze him until he wets himself a little bit and sneezes. Pungent exit has broken Boaty. Nurse! Mustard in the kitchen. Captain Mustard says, that mugging incident really caught me out. It was brilliant. I've got no idea what any of you are talking about. Pungent exit has won Who Can Break Boaty first. Yeah, tonight they did. After her success in the 80s music charts, Yaz ended up getting a job as an elevator attendant. She wasn't very good though. You're on form tonight, Black Lines. The only way is up, baby. Yaz and the plastic population. Now, she was some sort of supermodel, wasn't she? And I didn't find her remotely attractive. Maybe it's just because she had silly hair. Evening, Jason and all, says Joe of Cars with JC. Sorry I'm late, just got back from work. Yeah, well, stereo looks great, Joe. Joe fitted a beautiful Sony stereo that I recommended to Michael Jackson today. And Joe has done an evening shift delivering groceries. And I only ever did. I was the king of the late night shift. So when you said trying to find addresses in the dark, Joe, I feel that pain. Hope you had a good shift, mate. Our Boaty is a gay icon these days, says Stephen S. Paul. I've long been a gay icon. I've told you this before. I didn't know I was doing this. I did it when I was a professional singist. I did a gig, quite a well-paid gig actually, at a nightclub in Stoke-on-Trent called Mamie's. And that wasn't unusual. If they paid me enough, I was willing to do a nightclub. I prefer to do halls or theatres, but I would do a nightclub at a push if they really paid the money. And I did this one in Maymis, but I didn't know it was on a gay night. This is true, by the way. This is absolutely true. And God Almighty, I went down an absolute storm. It was the best reception that I'd ever had at that point. I had all of these lovely men in string vests wanting to buy me drinks and personalised songs for it. It was brilliant, and I had a fantastic night. And they offered me a residency there, and they offered me a lot of money to do it, and I took it. Only a very, very short one. I think I did. I think I appeared once a month for, I don't know, 4 months, something like that. They gave it loads of publicity. I was billed as, I do remember that they billed me as the voice of the Midlands, and I thought, cheeky sods, voice of the UK, really, honestly. But it was brilliant, and I was very much a gay icon for those nights, and I really, really enjoyed it. It was it was great. Uh, Show us your belt, Jeffrey. Oh God, Joe. No, I don't know what I'm talking about. Boaty's girlfriend from Liverpool says, "Boaty, I've seen your belt around your knees." Oh dear. Long Dong Silver Mustard doesn't need a belt, says Bad Books. Prisoner Cell Block 8 is on my telebox right now, says Trace. That's STV2, channel 65. God, what the hell's that? I've never heard of mogging, says Joe. And I asked Alexa, and even she didn't know, so I haven't got a clue. Oh dear. If I can remember, says Andrew, there were 3 mouse screws on Prisoner at different times. I think one was called Merv. I actually met him at a theatre restaurant. At a theatre restaurant doings called Dracula's back in the late 1980s. Right. 4 drops, Joe. Bloody hell. I like Bad Boys, says Boaty's girlfriend from Liverpool. I like Bad Boys sometimes. Sometimes Boaty is a bit soft. It's an old man's fault, girlfriend from Liverpool. Yeah, I'm up for that, says Mustard in the Kitchen. Don't know what he's up for, but he's up for it. Oh, yeah, I certainly would be up for that Land Rover lunch, says Dan Peters. Oh, so if Mustard's up for that, I've got the perfect spot, darlings. Now, if you go back to, I've only done a couple of Land Rover lunches, and the one I did with Simon and Matt, that would be the perfect spot. It's a beautiful scenic location, kind of in the middle of nowhere, near Stony Middleton. It's called Longston Edge, and there's a massive lay-by where you could probably fit about 20 cars. And there's like an already built cooking spot, a level, well, it's like a table. It's like a stone table. And that was where I set up all of my cooking gear last time. That would be perfect. And also, if a load of people turn up, then literally a few yards up and a few yards down are more lay-bys where you can fit loads more cars. And it's never packed. It's kind of, you would struggle to find it if you didn't know it. It's kind of a hidden spot. So there's always loads and loads of room there. And that would be an ideal place for a community meetup and a Land Rover lunch and a cookout or barbecue or whatever you want to do. So as soon as we properly hit spring, I would be well up for organising that, and I'd love it if you guys would come along. Oh, John Stoodley is with us. Hey chat, hi, hey Boaty. I'm not staying. Hope you're doing all right, Joe. I've actually caught up with the comments. Evening all, sorry I'm late, had some work to do on the ZR, says Frank G _05, who is always working on the ZR. He's a jolly good chap. And Joe says, addresses aren't too hard to find now, as I pay monthly for software called Dell M8, which literally takes you to the door of the property. It's excellent. Tesco's own nav is useless. I used to be the same with Sainsbury's, Joe. It used to just take you to the postcode, not even to the... I mean, what I find now, when I do restaurant deliveries, I find that the thing on iPhones is brilliant. It will literally take you to the door. It knows where each individual house is. Right, darlings, it is that time. It is midnight, so it's time to start saying your good nights. It's flown by tonight. Absolutely flown by. Don't be surprised if you see a random live from me during the day tomorrow. I'm just feeling a little bit puckish, and I fancy having an ad hoc live where there's just a bit of mayhem. I'm not sure what sort of mayhem yet. Have you heard of edging? Of course I've heard of edging, Lamine, and I can tell you all about edging. Now, edging is, I presume that all of you, like me, will have a beautiful lawn of which you are very proud. Now, edging is the process of literally going around the edge of your lawn with a suitable implement and making the edges all very neat and tidy, because the edge of your lawn should be a clearly defined thing. It shouldn't just blend into the surroundings. There should be a very definite edge, and the grass should be perfectly manicured. And I can assure you that mine is. Indeed, when spring comes, I will take you outside and I will show you the state of my edging. It is exquisite. You'll be in awe, and I will be proud. Let's 100% do a summer Land Rover lunch meet, please. Absolutely. More than one. I would happily make it a regular Sunday thing so that maybe not loads of people will turn up, but if we did it quite regularly, like, I don't know, like one Sunday every month, first Sunday of the month, last Sunday of the month, whatever, then if people couldn't make it to one, they could always make it to another. I think it would be fabulous. So, yeah, let's absolutely do that. And I'm really looking forward to my supper tonight, which I will remember eating. Curry tonight, by the way. I'm getting desperate now, says Smelly Hole. Forget about all those other women. They're no good for you, my love. One of them has the clap anyway. God. And Smelly Hole also says, Boaty, my love, how much do you charge per night? For you, free, of course, obviously. Goes without saying. Trace says, edging is also when you've had laminate flooring and you need to add trim to hide the necessary edge gaps. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Does spring ever come to the UK? Asked Steve Nesport. Oh, yes. God. Right, it's kicking off with Smelly Hole and my girlfriend from Liverpool. Name Me -1 has turned up just in time to say goodbye. So, well done, Name Me -1. Oh, wine from the freezer. Thank you. Hope you're doing all right, by the way. Oh, dear. Oh, shit. Oh, that's okay. Right, darlings. It is time for me to let you good people go. What I will do now, as soon as this finishes, the first thing I'll do, honestly, I'll tell you the truth, I will go upstairs, I will take off my work clothes and I will clamber into my night attire. I will come back down, I will name the live stream, all of that sort of thing, and then I will begin to prepare my supper whilst continuing to drink wine, and I will have a look on YouTube to find a video or maybe two from one of my favourite channels that I've not yet seen and that I can catch up on. Obviously, Mustard will be first choice. See if he's put a video up tonight. I saw that Matt has put a video up about the Rover 75, and maybe he's going to tell us what happened to that. If you remember, he sent it off to go sail a return to a company that was going to ask around £2,000 more for it than it's actually worth. I might watch a bit of that, find out if it's actually sold or if it hasn't. Maybe some of you have already seen it. I'm off to bed. Thanks for the live, says Dan. You're very welcome. I can't read that out. I only have one job, says Naomi -1, to remind you about the wine. I can't read that out either. God. I'm tempted to keep it going just to watch the girls fight it out. But what's the title tonight? Is it going to be Mogging? Oh God, I did a screenshot. What did I say it was going to be? Oh, show us your Jeffrey. The title tonight will probably be, Oi, Jacob Rees-Mogg, show us your Jeffrey. If that's not too long, but I quite fancy that. Oi, Jacob Rees-Mogg, show us your Jeffrey. That'll be the title for tonight, or something like it. It's been fun. So, as I say, don't be surprised if there's a weird ad hoc impromptu live during the day tomorrow. If I wake up feeling like I am tonight, a little bit puckish, a little bit cheeky, and I've got nothing more pressing to do, that might well happen. Otherwise, of course, I will see you all tomorrow night. Thursday Night Live. Thursday night is the mad one. You know that. I know that. Oh, Mustard has just posted his, excuse me. Mustard has just posted a video, apparently. Hopefully it'll be, it'll be the video from yesterday when we went and didn't buy a car. Can we have the fart music, please? Oh, well, yeah, why not? Why not? I haven't farted you out for a while, have I? Mogging harlots, show us your Jeffrey. I'll screenshot that. That's quite a good one. Well done, Ivor Spotty Botty. Mogging harlots, show us your Jeffrey. I quite like that. That might do, actually. Night all, brilliant live, says the artist formerly known as Buddy Scrotter. Thank you very much. Right, if I can find it. As per special request, he is indeed a big boy, yes. As per special request from Joe, I will fart you out. Let's see if I can find it and if it works on this microphone. Where are we? Oh, that might be it. Is the volume up? Right, let's give this a go. All right, darling, so don't forget, do join me, if not before, 11 o'clock tomorrow, same time, same place, Thursday Night Live. Have a safe and peaceful night. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Take fabulous care of yourselves. All right, darlings, here we go. Hopefully. There you go. That's it, darlings. Much love from me. See you next time. But you, and indeed, oh, yes, bosh.